Foggy London Town. In foggy London town, on the site of the British Museum, duels were fought. In Shaftesbury Avenue, Irish tunnellers found a casket full of insults, and the purple ribbons are wrapped around Larry's heart, and the sound of a cough, sondage. They threw it into the battle of traffic, having found no gold, which they esteemed above women and honour.
That's a beauty. That's a good one to begin with.
And Cohen for John Tozer. And finally, you can see that the piece you take away makes everything incomplete. Another poem. First, the first frost came upon my morning like an unchaste kiss, and made mush of my many potatoes. Forgot for Peter Murk. Monday night, the Smiths on. Envoy. I forgot what shoes I was wearing. I had to look down. What if I refused to look down? What if I walked around with unrecognised shoes? What then? This is a surfing poem. I used to go surfing as a young lad down at Chanjak. Bird Rock. Paddle out in darkness, sit on your board, water, slap, slap. The pyramid outcrop purple on its hind, the cliff above the beach, the silver lines, the silver line, the silver lines, appearing out the back. In big surf, the curve beats the headland, slop from bells and winky pop. The suicidal rock and the dredging shoreline. Sand as sharp as diamonds, I'll take any dawn, I'll take Bird Rock. And steps and boobs, fossil present, paddling out. Alone, the black backs of approaching waves, a colony of porpoises, paddling out alone. The sea wrack, the death of Palinurus, pack stuff with Virgil and tent safe in the heath. Hitched down overnight, blew a joint with a mate at the Torquay fish shop. O'Neill steamer, Crozier flex tail, the sun and I, paddling out alone. Placing myself in the strip of light, the first light of dawn, that I may place a first shadow on the cliff face, feel the lift, laugh the horse tails and take off. Now this is a poem about Sherry North, the famous 50s, 60s actress, in a movie called Written in the Wind. Sherry North in Written in the Wind. Haunted by Max Steiner and pursued by a prurient clarinet while she bawls the pump jockey, dirty girl, and Rock and Jean Barry look impotently on, and that strippers roll with the pasties and their centrifugal breasts whirling around like propellers in that flying movie with Bert and the other Jean. Ben Hecht was a visual poet, and her incredible faces, the moral quandary of oceans for eyes. The music was different when Sherry was around. You ever seen that movie, Written in the Wind?
I don't think so.
And there's another one, Burt Reynolds and Gene Hackman, and they're a flying acrobat sort of troupe called the Daisy Brothers or something like that.
Rings a bell.
And Sherry North is a stripper doing burlesque and da-da-da, and then she reached down, she's having a conversation and dancing for everyone else. Classic. But there's always a clarinet going. There's a stripper, there's sexy noise, you know. It's Sherry North. To say she was typecast. From the Windsor poems, and I wrote, I don't know, a dozen of these, possibly to go on the pavement, if I remember correctly. This is the last one that survived, the rest have been lost somewhere. The last of the Jacobite princes, leaps the gutter like a stag, comes upon one of the beautiful, fallen out of a nightclub, and sees the scars on his beautiful bloody face, and says to the boy, "Geez mate, you've been in the wars, there's bloody Sassenachs everywhere." Sassenachs haunting Chapel Street, beating up gay boys, terrible. Oh, well, that was what it was about. This is a small poem. Am oro. And oro is the Latin root for mountain. A certain way to wisdom is to consult a distant mountain on a daily basis for 1,000 years. You can probably see it in the camera. If it weren't for Jesus, we'd all be still worshipping owls. Where would we be then? No, I think that's all I got there.
Do you think you'd possibly come back? Do you believe in any kind of Buddhist reincarnation thing?
No, of course not.
Would you like to?
No, no, I've had enough. I've had enough. Please.
What about,
let me out.
attaining nirvana, the state of oneness with all?
Do you know the story of the 8th Dalai Lama? The 8th Dalai Lama decided that he wanted to be a poet in the tavern, whoring with the girls, but he was very mindful that, mindful that he had to be a proper officiate of his religion. So he did the ceremonies and all that sort of thing. And then he turned himself into a tree. And the Tibetans think that the 8th Dalai Lama is still there and that tree is still standing there. I think I'd like to turn myself into a tree. That's the answer to the question. Big oak tree, just like the ones in the paddock next door. Is that too much to ask?